Hi everyone, this is Rohit from Lifestyle Mastery, and I'm excited to have Sameer Narkar, who's the founder of Konnect Insights, a unified customer experience management platform that brings together social listening, omni-channel ticketing, analytics, and AI under one roof. Sameer has built this bootstrap SaaS success story, which now powers 500 plus enterprise customers across 30 plus countries. Welcome to the show, Sameer.
Hey Rohit, thank you so much. Thank you for having me here today.
Awesome. So I'm quite interested to talk about your journey, but let's rewind and look at how did you get your start in this crazy world of startups, and how did you go about starting Connect Insights?
Long story. About 10 years back, uh, I started this Konnect Insights. It was perhaps not the first idea that I was trying. This was a result of some other product that had
Okay.
analytics as core part of it. And of course, as a techie, it's very easy for us to work on ideas and then keep working from your office, build something that you believe could be the best for the world. But I'd learned it from my previous organizations where I worked, where one of my ex-boss did that mistake. And I learned pretty early that if you're building something, maybe go out and test it out in the market. Also test it out with some uh, actual customers and not maybe your friends or families, because they always say nice things, and that ends up into something that is not valid for the market or something. So we actually went out to the actual customers, the agencies back then, and just tested out our product, made them pay as less as say 6,000 rupees or $100 per month back then. They paid for it. They criticized us. They gave feedback. That's where Konnect Insights was born. So it was very basic analytics, combined analytics of various social platforms. But then we knew where we were heading. We always wanted to make it as an omni-channel customer experience platform where one single interface becomes a CX hub, and the all customer touch points are in one platform. So that's how we kind of evolved, and it's a long journey, but yeah, happy to share my experience of how it went.
Interesting. And before Connect Insights, what were you building, and what was it all about?
Right. See, I was a techie, and I'm still a techie, man. I started my career as a software developer. Worked in about three odd companies that were majorly into finance domain. So I got the opportunity to work in derivatives and equities market, straight out of college. And then I worked for a company that was into insurance domain, mostly for the UK and US market. And then I worked in a company that was into mutual funds.
Okay.
Right. So for me to start an app or a product which was totally outside the domain of finance was surprising. But then I had some idea of working on some app that can give you some basic insights about certain locations. That is how it started, and then that resulted into Konnect Insights.
Got it. And interestingly, you had bootstrapped to large enterprise customers, and you spread across 30 plus countries. And the last time we spoke, you also mentioned you have team spread across the world. But what were some of the key turning points that made the growth possible without any external funding, and why did you not look at raising any funding?
Right. Right. See, the story goes like when we were actually building the product, we also were doing a services business. So that
Okay.
services business was giving some money to us, and obviously you don't reach out to the investors till the time you have an MVP, right?
Right.
Something where you have a few customers to start with. So that was the story early days, and then when we actually got a few customers, we went out in the market to validate the idea and raise funds. But things got delayed. Maybe we were little early, sometimes little too late. The numbers didn't match for a while, and then we were very clear that this is one product that every single brand wants it. Today we work in about 26 different verticals, right from banking, financial services, aviation, automobiles, fintech, edtech, QSR. So if you're a brand, if you're a customer facing brand, you'd surely need Konnect Insights. We knew back then, and the whole idea was let us do more and more business, and let the investments and all come inbound. I think we maybe stretched a little too far in terms of those ideas, but it was not a bad thing to happen. And today we, more than calling us a bootstrapped company, we today call ourselves as a company that is heavily funded with the customer's money, which is recurring. So that's how the story goes. But definitely, what we're building right now needs a lot of enhancements in terms of what we are offering in AI. Those things need funding for sure, and we are kind of raising a very small round, but that's something that is an event, not a milestone, as we look at how the company is growing now. The focus purely is we know for the fact that if we get 450 more customers in 24 months time or so, we are hitting that 30 million mark of revenue. So that's where the whole focus is. I think that's have been the DNA of our company, that just do simple things. At the end of the day, you have a product which you need to sell, and for the world to know, you need to market it. I think we have kept things very simple in that sense. Worked with partners globally, have a very strong GTM strategy. So I think we know how to sell the SaaS product, and we know how to build one of the best products in the market. So that's the kind of DNA we have in our company, I can say.
Got it. Interesting. And you very interestingly had mentioned that you started with services and then built a product company later on, build a product later on. I think lot of founders should do that rather than just reaching out to investors, and once they've not had a product market fit. So there's a lot of pressure on the founder. Would you give that advice now, because it's become easier to build products? Should you look at a bootstrap model initially, and then look at getting the funding later on?
Yeah, I mean, don't take my advice very seriously in that sense. If your founders have been targeted over here, see, every company's way of growing is different. This is just our story. This is what happened with us. It was not that we did not wanted to raise funds, but then depends on various countries in which you are growing. At least in India back then, it was possible to bootstrap. Today it's difficult to bootstrap because of the expenses and stuff like that. In the Silicon Valley, of course, bootstrap is not a culture because everything is so expensive. It really depends on how things go for you in early days. But one advice that I always give is that whatever you are building, keep building that. I mean, do not have a doubt once your validation is done by the end customers. Then what investors or that investor community says can change depending on whom you are meeting, and it's very important not to take every advice seriously. So that whole investor community, to me, it keeps changing their mind depending on whom they are meeting. That they are not in depth with what you are building. So the best feedback that you'll always get is from your customers. And if you think that you can get 5 customers, and if you get 5 customers, and if the market is fit, then you'll surely get 50 customers, and then you'll surely get 500 customers if you get 50 customers. So believe in that. If that is the thing, then try various ways of doing things. What we did back then was, we did not start a services company and then build a product. We had a product idea, and to support that product, we started doing services business. So the whole idea that still applies today is that if you start a services business, and there are so many services business, they never get funding. They always get money from their customers, build a project, ship that project, get money, have the AMCs, and there's so many services company out there. So if you're building a product and funding is something that is not in your control, but your intent is there, to build something, then use this method, where you can build something out of the services business, make some money, and invest that into the product. But my funda is that it should always be a product. Otherwise, services is a difficult thing. Anything that doesn't have a recurring money is not a scalable business, according to me.
Correct. I think some really interesting points you made, but you did mention that you are looking to embed AI, and you already started doing that. But how do you see AI evolving in customer experience over the next 3 to 5 years? And what are brands still getting wrong about it?
Yeah. Yeah. See, I mean, AI is very interesting in our space, specifically in our space. I'll tell you why. Because, in fact, we know we just published one video also, that simplifies what AI is today. Uh, Somehow we took Connect, so our AI is called as Connect AI Plus.
Okay.
We jumbled the words. We found one character named Nico Caton. If you jumble the words, it becomes Connect AI. Okay.
Okay. Nice.
Took inspiration from the Harry Potter movie,
Oh, okay.
Chamber of
Interesting.
Secrets, and just created one nice script. So the whole idea of explaining that video in the best, simplest form was that treat AI as someone who is there in that company for about say 30, 35 years, knows every bit of different products, okay,
Right.
knows everything about technology. Imagine that person sitting next to you as an agent
Right.
in the customer experience who's solving customer's query. You will not only solve the customer's query, but you will actually make them a happier customer, an evangelist. If that Nico is sitting next to you. So that's the power of AI customer experience platforms can really bring in. You have the entire knowledge base with AI. You have the complete context of what the conversation is. As it is, we are an omni-channel platform that brings data from all customer touch points everywhere on the web, right from your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, emails, calls, chats, Google business reviews. You kind of think of any given channel, that data is within Konnect Insights. And now if one customer, let's say Rohit, comes on any given channel, I have the complete context of him, the entire conversation history. Once I put an AI on top of it, it gives me the entire context. It tells me what next best action, is there a churn prediction, is there a prediction for selling more to this person, what kind of CSAT risks you carry, what was this problems. It summarizes everything. And if a query earlier was been resolved in 15 minutes, it now gets resolved in 5 minutes, let's say. If there were 5 to 6 iterations for a query to be resolved, it now gets resolved in say 1 or 2 iterations. It has complete context of the conversation, at the same time complete context of all the documents that has been shared, and based on that it gives you all the insights. So the way for us to explain what the power of AI is, we created that video and said that this is one guy who knows everything. He's been with the company for 35 years. Think of him sitting next to you, solving your queries. And that's just the tip of the iceberg when we talk about AI. AI can do a lot many things in our platform. The way we consume information is through dashboards and reports. We are changing that. We are now offering everything conversational based. So if you're a CEO or CMO, you can talk to the brand, talk to the product and get answers. Why my sales has gone down, why suddenly the queries are coming more, who is doing the best, customer experience. So you can talk and you can get answers now. So AI can do a lot, and AI will be powerful for those platforms which has the power of data. And that's what we believe with Konnect Insights, because we have the power of data across all channels. The AI layer really becomes more strong. If I'm a platform that just brings data from an email or a calls, I'll have very less context. But if I'm an omni-channel platform like Konnect Insights, then AI can do wonders for me.
Correct. Interesting. And I'm on. I've always been on the revenue side of the business, but even I was able to build like a chat app through Vercel, and I'm playing through Lovable. Now it's becoming easier for people to build products, but how would they have any defensibility if everybody can build products and all products would look similar using tools like Lovable and Cursor? Where do you think the defensibility will come?
Right. So there are two ways of looking at things. In fact, the AI that we are building is not something where we can make use of open AI and compromise on data.
Right.
So to some extent, or maybe to large extent, we have to build everything where it's under a secured layer, and we are
Okay.
not passing data beyond our applications or application servers. So we ensure that we of course have our own stack for everything that is related to data. So that is one thing. Now building apps has never been so easy. I mean,
Yeah.
you can really build apps and grow fast, take it to the market. In fact, I'm mentoring few startups now. They're not even techies, but they build workflows and have a paying model already. And I don't discourage that. And you spoke about defensibility, So if any SaaS product, uh, has to ensure that there's a lot of dependability on what the customers are using. Uh, in our case, the way we look at it is, if we get a new customer today for our say social care and ticketing platform, we have some landmarks to achieve, meaning a journey with that customer for next 6 to 9 months, where these 4 or 5 things should happen. One is they should go for an omni-channel piece with our platform. That means many integrations with their product, with our product. Then we ensure that they subscribe to things like quality assessment. They subscribe to things like Konnect AI Plus. They build many integrations, and a lot of the users are on one platform. That is very important. Otherwise, some other solution will come and maybe offer a cost-effective piece. But then in your case, you should offer so much to them that they cannot actually move, or there is a cost to moving to other products.
Correct. Interesting. And you made an interesting point about pricing. And now, what had happened is, if you look at like a SaaS product be it Salesforce, it was always priced according to per seat. But now I've seen a lot of San Francisco VC saying that they have already started backing startups which are obviously AI first, but they are based on usage-based pricing.
Yeah.
Now, do you think going forward, the seat-based pricing is going to change into usage-based pricing, or do you think it's going to take its own time to get to that sort of pricing strategy?
I mean, see, for SaaS products to explain to the customers, seat-based pricing was always the norm.
Yeah.
Very simple. So many users, so many licenses, and then around it you kind of have some more parameters for the pricing. Even we are used to going to the pricing page where the end user understands it by seat-based. See, in our case, it was always the consumption-based.
Okay.
Because it was, let's say if you're a brand who gets in a month about 10,000 mentions versus
Right.
a brand who gets about 100,000 mentions, obviously you need to be fair and accordingly pay less or pay more. So it was data based. We also had a seat based pricing that was not on the higher side. So when it comes to SaaS products, now they want to change it to the usage based, because it makes a lot of sense, because AI promises that you will require less people to manage it,
Right.
and then if you price it only on the seat based, then of course you lose on the number of seats that you get.
Right.
So it's becoming more combination based. Even you see agent first pricing that earlier was conversation based, $2,
Right.
which was very expensive per conversation. They have reduced that pricing, but it will come with various options now. Earlier also it was not that it's user based and everything else unlimited. There were packages around it. So I think that is how things should be now. Whereas in our case, the way seat-based pricing helps us is
Right.
we just integrate with many platforms,
Okay.
and then the number of seats anyways increase.
Correct. And you obviously have a couple of products. When you're looking at building teams, do you have a different product owner for each of the products, or and different sales teams selling into those products, or do you have like a unified product owner for the entire category of products? Yeah.
Yeah. See, I mean, it really it's more of a tactical decision than a long-term strategy. I mean, it's the way you start building your products. As a startup early on, you may be a team of say 10 or 12 developers. Today, a development team is around 45-50 people.
Yeah.
The entire organization is about 145. So any startup journey would be like, initially few folks who do everything.
Right.
And then you kind of specialize, and then you hire folks in the teams who handle various aspects of your product, and that's where the team grows. It's never a choice for a startup uh, to decide and design the teams early on. It's just that I mean, I know for the fact some people who joined us 8 9 years back, they know everything about the product. They were
Right.
part of every single module that was been developed. Now they are not part of maybe some AI development that is happening. New folks are joining, but we don't get a comfort till the time those 4 or 5 folks know everything about the product.
Okay.
So that's been our DNA to handle the product side of things. On the sales side of things, I have seen this that as the product evolves and new features and new models come in, the old sales folks are not comfortable or, or, or they don't see success in the new aspects of the product. For example, in our case, ticketing, unified ticketing came much later. And then we had to hire people who were actually selling ticketing like products, because they were comfortable selling that part. So in sales, it definitely matters. As the product grows, you need to have the experts who talk that language, come from that background. And beyond that, you then hire people who are into functional domain. Now the sales team is sales, SDRs, and pre-sales who are solutions consultants. So
Yeah.
we kind of take that burden of always being updated on the product from the sales folks, and make sure the SCs, solution consultants, know everything about the product. They work closely with the product team. They don't have sales targets. So today our sales folks really have everyone, and I mean it's a tough job, but they have SDRs, they have solutions consultants. Early on it was like the sales guy only doing everything, but today we have folks who can work on dashboards for them. They are the ones who work with pre-sales. Pre-sales does the demos. SDRs get the meetings. A's give negotiation, works on negotiations or work on pricing. And yeah, there are many people who are supporting them. But that is how you really evolve, as a company. And I don't think we are doing anything innovative in that sense. If you follow the textbooks of Salesforce, how they do it, you can
Right.
actually learn how to do SaaS sales from there.
Got it. Interesting. And do you think smaller teams are the future product, where the product manager will also work like a designer, and he's also going to be like an engineer, or do you think it's a product manager, like the definition of product manager, would it change or would it be same going forward?
Yeah. I mean, talking from our experience, we never had that designation of product manager.
Okay.
I mean, people who were thinking day in, day out, the founding team was
Yeah.
was actually designing on the product. But things have become easier now.
Right.
Today, if I have an idea, and I know a little bit of Figma, I can actually make that prototype, show how it is going to look like. Back then, it was so I used to design most of the things in Excel. Then
Okay.
I had one product I used to like, Balsamic,
Okay.
to create the UI and then go to the UX team and get it done. But today I think I can do myself a lot of things and showcase it. Now even there are a lot of AI tools. The one that I really love is Gamma, to create presentations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the best tools. Write everything in Word, articulate your ideas, put it into Gamma. Gamma will create beautiful presentation. Show that to the team. This is my idea. Let's work on it. Earlier it was pen and paper, stuff.
Correct.
So yeah, AI tools definitely make your life much easier. And another thing that we do these days is also we are very traditional in that sense. I think my mind or the team's mind really works well when we just take a pen and a paper and ask right questions to ourselves. Uh, what is that one thing that will add more value to what we are offering? How can this customer be more happier? This is the feedback that we have received. And that is where new product ideas come into the picture. And then you go and today, if you want to validate that idea, go to the AI stuff, get some information, work on it, quickly build prototypes. Video making is so easy right now.
Right.
So
Correct.
things definitely have become easier. If you're a product manager, then obviously you are not dependent on the designers to at least showcase your idea within the team.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And with tools like Riverside and all, somebody like me is also able to edit videos and use Opus clips to, clip those videos. So it's become a lot more easier. But what has happened this year is computer science graduates are now one of the most unemployed people
Okay.
are coming out of the college, especially in the US. And with new tools like Lovable and Cursor, we can just put in the input. It can create like a front end, or at least create like a prototype for you.
Yeah.
Do you think engineers will even exist in 5 years? And if somebody is listening to this podcast, somebody who's just 18 years old,
Yeah.
would you advise them to do a computer science degree?
Well, my nephew recently, he passed out. He kind of scored. He also was. There was one hackathon. He won that hackathon, and I was asking this question more to a relevant folk than you know than people of my age. And I asked him, "How do you see?" Because same question I asked him, and his answer was, "Surely now people who are actually working on that core AI development are the ones uh, who are needed. Otherwise, uh, earlier, if there was a work to be done by 10 software developers, it really can be done by like 2 or 3 now. So of course, this AI is already, you know, creating unemployment. No denying that.
Correct.
Back then, people not only from computer science but from other degree like mechanical, civil, electronics. For instance, I'm from electronics background. We also got job into the software world.
Correct.
I don't see that happening now. People will prefer for those guys who actually build on AI and AI meaning really AI, not just making use of AI. People
Right.
who work
Correct.
on core AI and understand how it works. Uh, you need to know how to build your applications on top of say Llama stack or something similar.
Right.
Uh, those kind of developers is how the world will change and adopt those engineers more than the generic ones, and definitely it is impacting the job market, no denying that.
Correct. And, as I mentioned earlier, I've been into sales, and now with AI SDR tools, we don't know what's going to happen with sales and marketing functions. But even if you look at, companies like Waymo and all in San Francisco, it's scaling up, and you might see a redundancy of drivers happening in 5 years. But at the same time, I think I've talked about it enough where Klarna was using a lot of customer support people, and they fired 700 people because they thought AI agents can solve it, and now they wanted to bring back those support agents, and what they did is they created their own product which replicated that of Salesforce and Workday. But do you think what's going to happen when it comes to customer support and that sort of customer experience we will have? Do you think we will have a lot of AI employees who are going to work in front of the company and work along with the customers? Where do you see that sort of job market when it comes to customer experience and CX going forward?
See, I mean, see a lot of L1 support surely will be managed by AI agents.
Okay.
Uh, we are the ones who are building those functionalities into the platform,
Right.
where you can build a lot of workflows and the AI can respond for L1 support. But the way we see is that AI is aiding the human agents. But when we say that okay, your queries will be resolved in 1/3 of the time with very less iterations, which also means that you will need less human agents. I mean, right? So it definitely if your earlier team on, let's say, non-voice channels for support was of about 100 agents, then you can probably do with 30 agents now, you know,
Right.
and even do more because the human agents are being supported by the AI agents who are making the task much more easier.
Right.
So in that sense, that gap will be created. Uh, but depends on function to function. Various industries want to employ AI, save costs, and pay more on technology. So it is definitely impacting. And but in the longer run,
Right.
we kind of figure out, you know,
Correct.
because in the longer run, I believe this will end up creating more jobs, and that is how the history has been
Correct.
of mankind. We'll figure out ways to come up and be on top of it. So that is perhaps more philosophical discussion than actual maths. If we purely look at from the math side of things, then it's definitely impacting, and it'll impact. We'll see more jobs being impacting in next 2 to 3 years till we figure out something. But
Right. Right.
but that's not our work.
No, totally. I think you rightly pointed out. In the short term, there's going to be pain, but in the long term, that sort of automation has happened even when we had horse carriages, and then we moved on to cars,
Yeah, I
and
mean, yeah.
yeah. So that's been there. But what kind of challenges did you face while taking Konnect Insights global? I've been part of a SaaS company in India where we expanded into Middle East, Singapore, and then we looked at obviously Europe and US. But
Yeah.
how did your team go about expanding into the global market?
Right. See, I mean, there are three ways of actually selling your product.
Right.
One is you do direct sales with
Correct.
your SDRs, getting meetings, and your sales folks directly selling it. Second is find partners, and five partners will sell it for you.
Correct.
And third is find software products like yours who can complement, and
Right.
then you leverage the sales team of that company to sell your product. Okay. What we did was we employed the third method first.
Okay.
Partnered with say CCaaS platforms who obviously needed ticketing and omni-channel customer experience, social and all that stuff that we had. So we were actually filling the gap for each other. They were much larger companies, and they were kind of selling our product. So if I partner with one CCaaS company in one region, I get the leverage of their 20 salespeople selling our product. So always do that. Find someone, and in the ecosystem, you always work together.
Right.
You're more complementing than competing with other folks.
Right.
There could be overlapping features, but then you live with it and start doing sales in that fashion. And as a bootstrap company, obviously we don't have the luxury of hiring a lot of sales folks in the region and then experimenting it. So wherever we have succeeded, we work in about 30 odd countries. Let's say 4 or 5 regions if we divide them continent-wise. Then in that sense, every region we have succeeded via some ISV partnerships. Then for those software companies, they have a partner network, so leverage that partner network because they also have some interest to sell your product. Help the partners in whichever ways you can. Do everything that you can do, but give them some commission, so they'll open up their book and then they'll start working for you. And then later on, then have your own sales force who work with these partners and ISVs. That's how we work. There are other ways also. We work with different marketing agencies, so who have various projects with the brands, and they resell our product. So in any ways, in any given region, you need to have 3 or 4 ways of your sales motion. So
Yeah.
something or the other works out, and that's the best way to sell the SaaS product.
Correct, interesting, and obviously, I'm going to talk about sales and partnerships. So, when you're looking to hire somebody in sales and partnerships, how do you spot that true grit in a sales hire without obviously asking them directly, because you're spending anywhere from 2 to 3 hours interviewing that person, but how do you get to spot that he has that hunger to get sales?
Again, see, I mean, when you hire people, you obviously get it right. Sometimes you get it wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes, or most of the time. So you learn from it, and eventually you have that instinct to identify. And despite that, you'll obviously, make mistakes.
Right.
But that's part and parcel. See, one thing that we realized early on was uh, you can hire people outside the company and at the same time have a long term goal of creating your own talent. Okay. And making them smart enough. So as long as founders work very closely with some new guys that they hire, and have a longer vision, not just of what is success in say 3 months, 6 months, rather than that, think 2 years, 3 years. So you also create your own teams who can also do that job. So you always have a plan A and plan B. Plan A is quickly hire people, get the job done, and at the same time you go slowly and also build your own teams, who end up becoming uh, I mean, if I hire a fresher who really has a talent,
Right.
and I see that spark that he will understand the product well, he'll understand the pricing well, he'll communicate well, then I know that in 2 years, 3 years time, he can become my ace sales folk.
Okay.
So we have to invest in that ways. At the same time, look at folks joining from other companies. But if you're a salesperson, the easiest thing for you to do is crack an interview. I mean, if you have done any kind of sales, have seen some success, then I think cracking the interview is the easiest part. So it's really tough to hire the right sales folks, and that is across functions.
Right. Right.
Whether you hire the best guy in your marketing team for lead gen, or whether you hire someone in partnerships, product I think has been easier for me so
Okay.
far. The hiring that has happened in product team, I don't do that now, but I think we have always hired the best talent in our product team.
Got it. Yeah. And who do you think should build the playbook? Should it be the founder or like the VP of sales or the CRO, when it comes to like go to market, whenever you're looking to launch in the new market? Does the playbook stays with you or with the sales director or the VP of sales?
No, fair point. I mean, this is very interesting. So, see, I mean, who will give the best ideas is someone who is totally committed to the company, and you can always see that. Okay,
Right.
who is into it, thinking all the time.
Right.
How you'll succeed is the best person to give you ideas. So it's more than designation. It's a matter of commitment, and it's a matter of your understanding of the product and the industry.
Got it.
So we've been a very flat. I mean, we do have, of course, hierarchies. We are 140 plus, people today.
Right.
But then we are also very well connected to the junior most person in our company.
Okay.
I mean, we play sports. There could be a new guy who has joined yesterday, playing along with me. Cricket mostly India. So,
Yeah.
so
Got
in
it.
that sense, we are very well connected to everyone.
Right.
And today, I might have 4 or 5 folks with whom I do a lot of strategy. But then casually also we get best inputs from someone who is just thinking about what could be done in the product. So designation wise, yes, who is a VP of sales or someone who is head of partnerships. Obviously, their job is to come up with great ideas.
Right.
But we keep it very simple. I think we have a marker, the cabin on glass, and we'll write ideas. We'll work on it. I think I love to work in a company which has less people, so that the ideas are very very clear. I don't know how when we grow, will be more than 300 people. I don't know how things will work then, But
Right.
as of now, it is just people giving best inputs who are into it, who are committed towards this product.
Correct. And obviously, when you do sales and you have AEs and sales leaders and they want to get to their targets, do you think discounting is wrong? And how should sales leaders use it, and how have you used it in order to get to the sales targets? What would you advise?
Yeah, interesting. See, talking of offering discounts,
Right.
I mean, uh, it has to see. I'll tell you what, when we sell to enterprises,
Right.
uh, they don't look at cost cutting on the tool side of things, but you really have to tell that story to them so that they're completely convinced. Now, one of the things that we always say is that it's a 95-5 equation. Your entire operations cost and everything on resource and all will take 95% of your cost, and 5% will be all combined tools or platforms. Okay, within
Right.
that 5% we could be as less as maybe just 10% of that entire tool stack.
Right.
So if your entire CX budget is somewhere around, say, 6 million or so, the entire tool cost won't be more than 400K or 500K.
Right.
But can the right tools reduce that uh, 5.5 million to, say, 4.5 million? That's the value. Okay. Now, if you are able to explain that value to them, that will be more productive. You can do more. Your folks can really solve queries faster. Your marketing team can have faster insights. You don't have to really dig deep. You have to get the data. You know, then they can understand the ROI. So now, if I'm a salesperson, if I'm able to explain this and tell the story, then people don't run after discounts. Yes,
Okay.
you might explain this to the business team, and then the procurement team comes in and they don't understand anything. That's the challenge. That's where sales folks have to create multiple champions in a company,
Right.
so that the business team speaks on your behalf.
Right.
See, sales usually happens in the boardrooms where you're not invited, because I get a chance to demonstrate my product to the business people. Okay, I
Yeah.
may get one or two meetings, and then the decision is made when I'm not there. And that champion person has to sell it within your company. So
Right.
how you can always create one or two champions at the same time, empower them with everything that you know as a salesperson, because they are the salesperson to sell product for you. So
Right.
it's a hard work. I mean, it's a smart work. It's a hard work. Uh, every salesperson will tell you that I was about to get the PO and I did not get it. Till the last hour, the PO is coming. Everybody experiences that. So, will discounts win the game for you in that case? If that is the answer, offer some discounts. Okay,
Okay.
but that is not never a long-term strategy. The value that you offer is what really matters. Yeah, I mean, and
Correct.
I'm speaking from years of experience.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never been to sales before in my company.
Very, very interesting that you did mention that you stepped away from sales. So it's quite interesting that the team is responsible enough to drive it, and that's what leadership is all about. But going back to your early days when you started getting new clients in, and I've been to very early stage companies, and it's always something which I also think about: how important is the quality of the logo in the early days versus revenue in the door? Do you think it's important to have big brands come in rather than get just revenue in the door with smaller startups or smaller companies?
Yeah, I'll tell you why this question comes in. When your thought process is, I am doing this because I want to attract the investors, uh, then you kind of get into that dilemma. Let's get the logo because it will attract my investor.
Right.
But if your thought process is very clear, where you're purely thinking what's the right thing to do, then you will not go out of the way to offer discounts because you don't have any investor to invest.
Right.
Uh, uh, and I've seen this during my early days when I was thinking of getting funded, um, and when I realized that no, bootstrap is the only way. I think there
Right.
was a lot of clarity when this thought of impressing the investors completely went out of our head,
Right.
and we were anyways winning much bigger logos. Uh, but the price point at which you sell is always the most critical aspect of how you will win in sales.
Right.
Uh, it just has to be right. Right in the sense that it definitely offers a lot of ROI to the end customer. Customer just loves it, but you're not very expensive, you're not very cheap. That right balance is very important, and you can. It's a journey. Today, when customers migrate from other platforms to our product, in certain cases, many products we know where they pay at least 2 times or 2.5 times more to us. If they are paying monthly to someone else, they are paying yearly to us. But at the same time, we are not extremely premium like say Salesforce, which is mighty expensive in that sense.
Yeah.
It's a proper balance. And tomorrow, if I mean from 500 customers, we have 2,000 customers. Are we going to increase the price? It will not straight away work just because we have 2,000 customers instead of 500 customers today. It will only
Right.
work when the market fit is there and the value, right kind of value is there. Um, so pricing is the most important aspect of how you do sales. Early
Right.
on, it's pretty easy because you want serious customers who can give you feedback. So you cut down your pricing. Those stories are different. Early on, sell something which is let's say 10 times less than your competition because your product is of course not up to the mark. You're
Right.
testing out your product. You should be thankful that someone is even paying that much amount for you. But
Right.
once you come to a stage where you are where you're competing with the best in the industry, your product is perhaps 1.1x or 0.8x of what the market is offering, then be very power with pricing. Then
Correct.
if it is only because of the pricing that you're winning, then it is definitely not highly scalable. But it really depends on product to product, depends on what kind of other competition is there in the market.
Right.
uh, yeah, I mean, someone who is doing marketing automation today can only win on pricing because there is not much of offering in the product differentiation factor. Whereas in
Correct.
CX, there are a lot of differentiating factors. So if that is the case, then obviously your pricing has to be something higher than what others are offering, but at the same time, you are offering 4x, 5x more than what others are offering in terms of productivity and the returns that they are going to get.
Correct, correct. And Sameer, in the last 10 years or so, you've been able to build a 140 people strong team. You've been able to attract and retain very strong global talent across the world. What's your approach to building and scaling a people first culture?
Yeah. Well, I think culture really is very important. I mean, we talk about our core values,
Right,
even our induction program. On the day one that HR does, we take that very seriously. We explain to them, what we are, what we are not. This is how we talk. This is how we don't talk. Our core values talk about empathy, customer success, excellence, and gratitude. We explain them how we do it. We follow 3 Ds: determination, dedication, discipline. So it's very important for anyone who joins the company, understands the culture of the company, uh, and then within that framework, you are allowed to be what you are. Everybody
right,
has their own style of doing things. We entertain that as long as they are within the framework of the company. That is how we work. I have people for whom Konnect Insights was the first ever job. They are with us
okay,
for 8-9 years. I think I feel more proud about that fact than anything else. The fact that they started with this company and are continuing for so many years. And we we believe that you can read. I mean, it's very difficult. Cannot generalize it, but as long as you are ensuring that they don't think about money. I mean, you're paying well, and secondly, if you are allowing them that freedom to express themselves, and if you are always doing something that is latest in the industry, then the talent will stay.
right,
But yeah, things are changing now. I mean,
yeah,
you know what's happening with the AI world. That's a different talent to absorb.
Correct.
You cannot generalize it, but that's what we have done for the last 10 years.
Correct. And Sameer, what's the next big bold bet that you're making when it comes to product and company? Obviously, you're looking to make some bets in the AI world and looking a bit of funding, but what's the next big thing that you're excited about?
I mean, of course, we have that 2-year, 5-year plan, where we want to take this product to.
Sure.
A lot of efforts went into making this an omni-channel CX hub for the brands. There are many companies who use Konnect Insights as their central product.
Yeah.
All the agents are on Konnect Insights. That's a big achievement so far that has happened. And at the same time, we are ensuring every other tech stack is integrated with our CX hub. AI is something that we have built in with AI agent assist and stuff like that. There are some projects that we are trying now. Of course, a lot of Konnect agents are now coming, which will build workflows for you. Earlier, the way workflows were built was you might have a backend which is structured or unstructured and can do wonders, but as long as you build an UI for that, you cannot really empower that entire unstructured data that you have. So it was always limited to the UI that you build. But today with agents, Konnect agents, you're not restricted to just the UI feature. You can build any kind of workflows,
Right.
connecting various tech stack,
Right.
those things. So, I mean, the days of Zapier have gone. It's all agent based now. So that's something that we have really built in. We are working on something called as a research cloud, as a data lake beyond all the data that we bring into the platform, and that the entire dashboards and reports will now be consumed in a conversational manner.
Right.
We don't want data and insights. We want answers to our questions. We are empowering that. Our users have been empowered with those features now. That's the near product roadmap. And as we grow, we'll obviously stay in touch with any new technologies that are being offered. Of course, we are building our AI on our own stack, not just using the open AI, because security is going to be a main concern going forward. Today, people are running after the features, AI features. Tomorrow, they are going to talk about the security aspect. So we are doing right things and not doing things right. So building, we may not be the fastest in terms of shipping all the products, but we're definitely going in the right direction to offer them.
Correct. No, many congrats on all the success that you have gained. And I quickly want to do the top three. What's your favorite business book?
Okay, my favorite business book. I think every founder must have read this book. Never Split the Difference.
Yeah.
I think it's a great book. The one that I also, many of them, I read a lot of books. The other one is by Salesforce, Predictable Revenue. Again, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Of course, I've read a lot of biographies, so that helps. Everyone should read Steve Jobs' biography. Everyone should listen to the podcast or videos of Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
I think for folks like us who never did MBA, Steve Jobs is our
Is MBA. Yeah, absolutely. We'll put down the show notes. And, if you could go back in time when you started Konnect Insights, what is the one thing you would have focused on or done things differently?
Well, I think I did start sales on day one, like, talking to the customers and, building our product. That is one thing that I did right. What we could have done better was the international outreach. We could have started much earlier.
Right.
If I go back in time, then I'll start that international reach out much earlier. We see it happens with every company. You get
Right.
trapped into what you're doing,
Right.
but then you should think what is the right thing for the future and start executing that. So I keep asking myself that question: am I getting trapped into the operations,
Okay.
or can I do something which is futuristic now?
Interesting. Right. And do you have any favorite online tool, for example, Gmail, Slack, Zoom, anything other than Konnect Insights?
I used to love, well, yeah, Konnect Insights is the first. So Slack I used to like. I don't like that so much now. I think most of the AI tools that are available, I love them. I already quoted. I am a big fan of Gamma.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of Figma. I never tried Canva though. but but definitely I love Gamma and Figma, I can say.
Okay, got it. We'll put it in the show notes. And Sameer, what's the best way people can reach out to you and know more about Konnect Insights?
Okay, so you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. If you search for Sameer Narkar, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn.
Sure.
I'm not very active on X, but I go by Sameer Narkar.
Okay.
I recently deactivated my Instagram account. So yeah, and if you want to reach out to me on email, sameer@connectinsights.com
Sure.
is my email ID.
Got it. We'll put down in the show notes. Sameer, thank you so much for speaking with us. I really enjoyed my conversation with you.
Same here, Rohit. Thank you so much for asking all the right questions.